I'm going to start, Shaka, if I may, with a quote from Gareth Bale. Okay? Gareth Bale told an upcoming film that the sacrifice required to compete among the elite in a team sport means you lose your life. Basically, footballers are robots. He's a rich robot, isn't he?
Well, yes, if that's the measure. But in all honesty, to compete at the top level of any elite sport, you have to make sacrifices that other people don't. It's a sacrifice that everybody who competes at that level is prepared to make. And if you aren't, well then step away. Listen, it's professional sport, professional football, any sport at this level is a double-edged sword. It has its rewards, it has its entrapments. There's a lot to be happy about, a lot to celebrate. There's also a lot to sacrifice. That's part and parcel. I don't see why this is new or why all of a sudden this should be an issue for Gareth Bale.
Look, he's unhappy just now because he's not playing that much. We'll take a look at the games that he played last season. He started 21 games in La Liga. He came off the bench on 8 occasions. I need you to declare whether you're Team Bale or Team Real Madrid. Are you in the camp of someone who's got 3 years left but isn't playing, or in the camp of the team who are like, well, if you're not in our plans, just suck it up and stop moaning?
Well, I'm always going to be team whatever club we're talking about. In my opinion, a club, any club, is bigger than any player. So I am always going to side with the club when it comes to these kind of internal battles that go on, unless, of course, I'm biased for some reason and I know that player personally. Sure. But the club is always bigger than the player. So I'm Team Real Madrid here. They have to do what they see as best. And it doesn't matter whether you're at Real Madrid or Tottenham Hotspurs or Swansea City or some league club or some non-league club. There's a certain amount of politics that goes in to sport, to fitting into the dressing room, to fitting into a manager's plans. I don't think Gareth Bale has done himself any favours with what he's had to say over the last few years. I don't think he's doing himself any favours right now. This is not how you get yourself back into either the manager's good graces, in with the club or with the fans. You do that solely by your performances on the pitch. When he's been on the pitch, he's been decent, Gareth Bale. The trouble is, he's just not been on there enough. His own career at the Bernabéu has been stuttering or stuttered because of his own injury concerns that maybe some of the fans think he kind of limps out a little bit too easily, which I could understand. I've been there. I've seen players who've done similarly. I can't make that first-person judgment on Gareth Bale as we sit right now, but the fans are entitled to that opinion. It's his responsibility to now change that. I don't think he's done that. And again, in terms of what goes on behind the scenes, I don't think he's handled himself well either.
Footballers have a lot of power these days. Clubs can accept bids. The players get the final say as to whether they want to move on. He's approaching his 30th birthday. He's still a world-class player. He's got 3 years left on his contract, which is going to earn him approximately about 55 million euros if he stays. If you're in his position, how do you go about engineering a move out without annoying the team you're with?
Well, first of all, I know Gareth Bale's agent very well, represented me during my career. Jonathan Barnett and Stellar Management will structure a deal that will make sure that Gareth Bale is well looked after if he is to move. And so ultimately it becomes a decision for Bale to make. Whether he's happy to maybe play 5 years for 3 years worth of money, how he feels within himself physically, or is he up for another challenge, or if he's just happy to be in Madrid, training every so often, be it with the first team or the kids, and not featuring an awful lot. That's his decision to make. That's where his power lies.
Just finally, Jonathan Barnett, who you mentioned, his agent, and the Stellar Group, they're not going to get rich by players staying where they are. If they try and persuade Gareth that it's probably best in your interest to move on for every party involved, that can't be the easiest thing. How easy is it to persuade? How easy was it for you to listen to your agent, Jonathan, or whoever, and him to persuade you, yeah, you're probably right?
No, listen, I had a similar situation, well, not similar, in that I left West Ham and went to Portsmouth for considerably less money, but it gave me the opportunity to play. I made that money over an extended period of time, or made close to what I maybe would have gotten at West Ham, but over a much longer period of time. And it's about extending your career, and especially when you're talking about, and I was nowhere near to the kind of sums that we're talking about with Gareth Bale here. You could probably add a couple of zeros onto what I was earning. If you make that decision based on your career and you want to play, whatever happens, Gareth Bale is going to retire a wealthy man, and it's up to him now what he does with his time between now and retirement.
Yes or no? Is Gareth Bale at Real Madrid next season?
No, he's not.
ESPNFC.com to find out if he does move, where he's going.